We can't hear you.
We're both muted.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right.
All right, we're back. Happy New Year, Adam. How you doing? 2025, we're live. First one
Doing
back.
great.
Doing great. How's the fam?
Doing well. Yeah. No, it's been actually nice to see them a little bit more, but we've got three teenagers, so they're off kind of doing their own thing, but just to at
Mhm.
least have uh that ability to sit down and maybe have a conversation as opposed to being rushed around like I often am throughout the football season. But it was such a fun football season. Uh, Still, though, it's nice to kind of be able to connect with your kids a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Definitely. I gotta
How
go do
about you?
some
How are your kids
I gotta
doing?
go do some running around right now. They're growing up fast,
Yeah.
constantly, always, needing something here and there, and just wanting to tug along and ride in that truck. I want to ride in that truck. So yeah, it's been good. 2025 starting off pretty good.
How
We got
old
a
are
lot
your
of
kids
news though.
now?
My
How old are
kids,
your
my
kids now?
kids are 10, 8, 10, 8, and 2.5 now.
Okay.
You know, I was
That's a
about to
good
say
zone you
3.
guys are in, but it's uh it's a taxing zone that you're in as well.
Yes, indeed. Taxing for real. I think that would be an understatement. Let mom tell it.
Yeah.
So I would say this understatement also would be what Coach Prime is doing. We're gonna get into some Colorado football as we normally do. We're gonna have to get a lot of updates from yourself as we haven't been able to catch up, during the holiday season. But we're back now. It's evergreen content as Coach Prime is, year round content as the Colorado Buffs are with Coach Prime. So we got some things to get into to catch up on. Also, if you guys been following, Adam has been covering everything on buffstampede.com on the 24/7 Sports Network. Let's see where you want to start first. We can go coaching staff, we can go players, we can go additions, subtractions, wherever you want to start at. We can start there. I would say it's been just whirlwind of news. So wherever you want to start.
Well, I think today, maybe start with Andrew Swayze having his first workout with the team. I kind of like the strategy that they had. If memory serves, last year the guys got back on campus at the very start of the spring semester, and they were pretty much on the field in the weight room with organized workouts pretty quickly. This year
Hmm.
they gave them that week, and I think that makes a lot of sense because the returning guys didn't really get a long break. Around here at Colorado, unfortunately, we've covered a lot of teams that didn't go to bowl games and they have all of December off. Well, this team was preparing and playing in the Alamo Bowl. So there wasn't that long stretch. And then for the newcomers, that first week allows guys to figure out where they're going with a little less stress on their plate of, where are my classes? Where is my living arrangement? What food stops outside of Carl Solomon's training table can I go check out? And so I thought that was good to give them really most of these guys have been on campus for about a week and a half now. And so being able to kind of give them that acclimation period, I thought was good. And obviously Coach Swayze came in guns ablazing there in that
Yeah.
first team meeting of the spring semester. But today to watch some of the behind the scenes stuff and kind of see how he goes about his training, it's very fair. It's he sets expectations and you live up to that, and there's no consequences on the other end of it. And so I
Hmm.
thought I was pretty impressed watching some of that stuff. Jerry Sanders had a video out. I haven't got quite through all of Bucky's video, but that I think was and you're seeing guys like Preston Hodge and Torian Carter and Ivan Yates. Who am I blanking on? There's a few guys that
Terrell
Tyler Brown.
Timmons, Tyler Brown, yeah.
Well, some guys that we thought going into last year, they were entering their last year of eligibility.
Oh, okay.
And to see those guys still, in the program, obviously Hodge is going to have a big impact. And Torian Carter, I think he was on pace to have a big impact on this team until that injury happened. So
Hmm.
we can talk about the additions to the portal. I'd be glad to, but just being able to get some of those guys back that are already in the program that already kind of know the way it works under Coach Prime and Boulder, I think is a good thing as well.
Yeah, we saw the guys on Darius's page, they were running the 100 yards
Yeah.
sprints pretty much, and you had to do it 10 times. I remember those things when you come back from a break or whatever. But the main thing he was saying was, I'm telling you guys to run 10, right? Now, your body language is everything. You guys want to be bent over or slumped over or whatever, then that's on you if you want to run 12 or 14 or 16. You make that, but don't get mad at me. That's one of those things where I love from a coach where he's saying it's all on you. Everything is on you. I'm not going to do anything to punish you and try to be the bad guy, but I'm going to put it on you. And you guys, it's up to you to get into shape and to be able to run these things in the right amount of time. All of that stuff is going to be mental. It's going to be discipline, and that's going to carry over into the season because the players right now are with the strength and conditioning staff more than they are with the position coaches. So you're going to have to get in the right mindset, and that's a important job for the strength and conditioning coach, probably the second most important thing to recruiting and actually getting good players in is this type of this time of year when they're with the strength and conditioning staff. So I think they're starting out and getting on the right pace to go in the right direction to win a Big 12 championship. I know that's the goal, and I think they brought in the right guy to do it. And with the help of Coach Mo and his staff, Coach Reyes, and also the right players coming in, I think we're ready to go and take off. So we're going to get into some of those players also before we move forward to the coaching staff. So
well, first off, it's great that Coach Mo is still on staff because I don't think anybody had major issues with the strength and conditioning program the past couple of years. But if you can get him to allow, Andrew Swayze to come in and head up that program and basically be a tag team, I think that's a great situation that they have, and maybe a lesson. And I don't know how many of these lessons we need, but people overanalyzing some of the stuff you see out there. Maurice Sims was at UNLV, I think, for some kind of clinic, a coaching clinic, and people just assumed that he was leaving the staff. Maybe this is a good example early in the offseason of let's just vet some of this stuff before we just run with it. Can we do that?
There's a lot of things like that always go on around this program like that. Our corner Turner from a great mentor of mine, but he says that a lot of people would rather be first than to be right, or to be first than to be best, So they just try to jump out there just to be first and to put something out there. That's fine, that's what you want to do. But my thing is I want to be able to cover things the best way and correctly in the long run, and also hopefully just continue to elevate in what we're doing. So having said that, yes, I did see Coach Mo's story where he was at UNLV and showing the weight room and stuff, and I did see the stories of people, is Coach Mo leaving, da 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 da. So I just expected it. So shout out to Coach Mo for being able to be professional enough, smart enough, and great enough at his job that Coach Prime wanted to keep him around the team and retain him because he has something to bring to this squad also. And then to add on the veteran like Coach Swayze and his background and his presence also, I think is going to be just another step in towards elevation for Coach Prime, because that's what he normally does. If somebody leaves out, the person that he brings in is going to be a step up. And I think that's exactly what he's doing with Coach Swayze and bringing him in from University of Miami down in South Florida.
And they had, I think, was it 3 or 4 assistants? So it looks like they'll be adding to that staff. I think they kind of even alluded to that in the first team meeting that they're going to add to that strength staff, I think.
Yeah, I think they will have, three, maybe 4 assistants and a lot of other interns that has been in and out of there. So we'll see how it pans out. But I think it's only going to be a good thing for this football squad. And with these guys like Jordan Seaton, still young, Big Carday Smith, still young, they need some filling out. Not so much Jordan, but they still need, that strength and conditioning is very important for those young players coming in from high school, and some even coming in from transfer portals from smaller schools, JUCOs, that really need that step up in the weight room. So I think it's going to pay dividends at the end of the day.
And just the culture that you create in that program, I think is where kind of the team bonding comes in, right? because you're having to go through all that together. And even today, you saw some teammates holding up other guys when they wanted to bend over and maybe penalize the team, but and I love Coach Swayze's thing about body language. That's one of the things that always bothers me. Guys with bad body language, like, come on, this all matters. And this is what a lot of coaches talk about, the little things of showing up and having a positive attitude and lifting guys up. And I think that's if one workout under Coach Swayze is evidence, I think he's headed on the right track.
100%. Let's see here. I know you covered all of the guys that was brought in, all of the newcomers on buffstampede.com. Who are some of the guys you're most excited about? I know some of them not in right now. Guys, just like last year, we got guys coming in early, but then you have the other freshmen that's going to complete their full senior year and come in the summertime. Who are some of the guys you're most excited about that we've seen now since we've seen these player introductions?
Well, it's crazy to see 12 high school guys in the program as early enrollees, because that's more scholarship signees than they had in the prior recruiting class in total.
Yeah.
And so all but 2 of their prep signees are on campus. I'm going down the list. I saw a couple new guys on campus today. Mana Tamani. So I think most of the transfers are on campus as well. In terms of the guys who stand out, you got to go back to some of that early prep that they got going out and being part of those Alamo Bowl practices. And Alexander McPherson was a guy that had really made a strong impression on guys in some of those practices. And I think is going to be a guy coming in from IMG that's going to be ready to play as a true freshman. Chauncey Gooden is a wide dude. Like, just seeing him on the field pregame at the Alamo Bowl, it was like, that's not how freshmen usually look. And I'm sure there's going to be some molding of that body that you have to do with any guy that comes in that's a big body like that. But gosh, I think he could be, an instant impact guy as well. With the transfers, you got to start with Salter, the quarterback, coming in, and just hearing Jarrell Timmons and Draylon Miller talk about, how he throws and kind of complimenting his ability. So I think that's going to be a fun quarterback competition to watch. Joseph Williams coming in at receiver, I think, is going to be a guy that goes from being pretty under the radar at Tulsa as a freshman to kind of having that breakout campaign in Boulder this year. There's a lot of guys. Any guys that stand out to you?
Well, you said the guy I was looking at, Caden Salter, being a quarterback. I really like, from a personal standpoint, I like Reginald Hughes, the linebacker coming over from Jacksonville State in Alabama. I think he's a fast sideline-to-sideline linebacker that can make a lot of plays. Maybe a little bit underrated. Also, a guy from Alabama, University of Alabama, that's big Jaheim Otis. I'm excited about if he can stay healthy and bring that mean streak, that effort consistently, and be a big force in the middle, along with and pair him with, I said tag team partners last year with NHG and Bentley. Well, we got another big tag team partner, like when Undertaker and Kane got together, 2 big brothers. We got a big Otis, and then you big Anquin Barnes, put them together in that middle and let them make plays. Also, can't forget, like you said, Tarion Carter and Mari McNeil and Big Toffee in that middle. We got some guys to really show up that middle with him, and also the young guy Hudson coming over. So I'm excited about Hudson. I'm excited about Otis coming over, and it was another guy here. Let me go.
Tavion Coleman, Gabrielle Lightfoot, a couple other transfers in there.
London Merritt, defensive end, coming off that thing out of Atlanta, Georgia. He is going to be a man child, I think, a man amongst boys. He's going to surprise some people who may not know. I think he's a sack machine waiting to happen and take the Big 12 by storm. Look out for him. Those are the guys I'm excited about.
There's a lot of first off the bus guys in this group that have just got on campus right now.
Yes, that's exactly what Big Otis is. First one off the bus, get off, relieve the bus from holding you up too. the bus lets up when he gets off, make that yeah. So yeah, just a couple of guys I'm excited about. Also the offensive linemen, interior guys look tough in that middle. I want to see how that pan out. Like you said, Gooden and the rest of the guys, a couple of them from Mississippi. I'm excited about those guys. Two tight ends, blocker and a pass catcher. So we brought in, like Coach Prime said, I think overall better group because you have just more. Like you said, more. The quantity is there, but then you got the quality also because you're bringing in more guys who really can play. Farrakhan X at the wide receiver. Look out for him to make plays. And good to see Amarion Miller back also. So we got guys all over the field, I think, this year, not even looking at the guys who's going to come in after the spring right now, who can really, make this ball club and be on the field in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, the roster that you put together for spring ball to kind of evaluate where all these positions are at is at a very good place for Colorado. And obviously, we all know that you don't replace a Travis Hunter. It's going to take a number of guys to kind of fill into what he did for the Buffaloes. But you had a guy like Colton Hood that just couldn't get on the field because you were so stacked at that position at times this past season. And, Amari Miller had the injury, but you've got guys that have been kind of waiting their turn. And I'm excited. I'm going to do a story, Chico, 10 buffs that are primed for a breakout in 2025. And there's some fun names on there. And obviously you look to the running back position as well. And so you go into spring ball and you kind of figure out how things go. And not every guy you brought in is going to be a great fit. And then as we've seen the last couple of years, there have been a couple guys that have transferred out after 15 practices just because they don't fit the culture. And so you'll have another transfer window. So this is certainly not the final roster they're going to go into preseason camp with. But what's interesting is they're talking about next year only having one transfer window, which would be a little bit later in early January. And so if that takes place, then you've really got to get that roster solidified. But in this current year, you still have that wiggle room to kind of find some guys in that spring transfer window as well to fill in even more gaps. So I can't wait. I think it took me like maybe 2 weeks to kind of just catch my breath from the season. And now, Chico, I'm ready for spring ball.
I'm ready for spring ball also because there are some guys I can't wait to see, like we just named, but also I forget about like Cam Michael, who's pretty much hurt all of last season, so we didn't see anything from him. So, we got some guys out there that's going to make some plays. But then you guys, the coaching staffs, moves that has left us or left like some above nation, like wondering why Coach Dancy left, why Coach Loho left, but they went on to better opportunities for them, down in Mississippi State. Two young, great coaches that was on our staff that Coach Prime identified to bring along to be a part of the success that was had this past year in the 9-4 season. But of course, he's going to have guys to replace them. You see what's been announced. Coach Hilo going to be working with the edges. We saw the contribution he had last year working with the linebackers and just the other Coach Hageman and Coach Gunnar White will be working with the offensive line as of right now for the spring. And like he said, with the same thing with the coaching staff and with the players, it's still evaluation time in the spring. So what we see right now might not be what we see heading into the summertime. So just hold your horses and just, he's looking to make the best move. His next move, his best move, at the end of the day, I think it was what Coach Prime is doing. So what are some staff moves that you are, looking for, you're excited about, maybe make, scratch your head? What are your thoughts overall on all of the staff moves?
Yeah, to kind of lead off here, Bill McCartney is going to have his celebration of life at the CU Event Center tomorrow. I'm going to go to that. And one of the things that Bill McCartney did a great job while he was building up Colorado's program, and they eventually won a national championship in 1990, is that he elevated coaches very similar to the way that Coach Prime has been doing early in his tenure at Colorado. And I didn't get a chance to cover Coach Mack at CU, but obviously over the years, I have spoken to so many people and talked about his legacy, and was fortunate enough to get to know Coach Mack personally after he was retired. But there were talented coaches leaving that program every year, and Bill McCartney knew how to fill that role and do what Coach Prime seems to be doing right now. And so it is tough when you build the feelings towards Vincent Dancy, and he's on the behind the scenes videos, and everybody falls in love with his personality, and he did a great job with that edge group this past season. But I feel like the last couple of years have taught us that Coach Prime does a pretty good job of filling those roles, and in a lot of cases, actually even improves that. Now, George Hilo was, of course, Robert Livingston's eyes up in the press box last year. Heard that he had a big hand in some of those halftime adjustments, and so he is a well-respected coach. It's going to be a new experience for him in terms of the edge, but I think if you're going to keep a George Hilo around, you got to elevate him into that role when you have an opportunity to give him. So that made a whole lot of sense, and it seems like he and Livingston seem to have a really good chemistry just in terms of the X's and O's, and so it's good to have him back.
Sorry about that. What are some of the main stories out there that you guys have been covering from, they're right there, ground zero, I guess you could say. That's pretty kind of like has been the most covered thing, most viral thing, I guess, going on. What's the main topic right now that everybody is talking about?
Well, you've got now a contact period with recruiting, and so you're seeing a lot of scholarship offers go out to 2026 prospects, because this is an opportunity where you've kind of put together your 2025 recruiting class for the most part, and so you have this opportunity as a coaching staff to get out on the road and stop by high schools, and it's kind of a tedious task of hitting the road, and you're probably not eating all that well when you're out there as a coach, but you're able to kind of lay the groundwork for recruiting going forward. And just today, I think it was 4 or 5 new offers that went out to guys, and we see Coach Box from the recruiting staff go out to North Fort Myers High School and check in on defensive lineman James Johnson, who goes to the same high school that Coach Prime went to. And they're trying to make a strong effort there. He's a blue chip recruit out of that area. And so you're starting to see that 2026 recruiting really pick up. And so that's one of the things we really cover pretty heavily in this stretch between that bowl game and getting to spring ball. And so I'm going to do another feature kind of breaking down a bunch of the targets that you should keep an eye on in this 2026 class because recruiting is, like I said, starting to heat up there.
We saw, speaking of recruiting, we saw Judkins make some big plays in the game last night, the college football playoff championship game for Ohio State. He's out of Pike Road High School in Montgomery, or Pike Road, Alabama, which is basically right outside of Montgomery, Alabama. But it's a brand new community out there in Pike Road, and they're really building something out there. And they have a recruit, 2027 quarterback Casey Myers, who just got offered by Auburn for the 2026 slot wide receiver. Reminds me of a Quentin Gibson, who is at Pike Road right now. And I think I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. Omari Powo Smith, look out for him. Remember the name. Tell Box and all the other coaches, look out for this guy. Explosive wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner, can do it all. He's at Pike Road, same school that Judkins came out of. That's my plug for him right now. Maybe I'll do this every other show. I'll have another recruit to plug. So y'all hit me up wherever you can find me at Biggdogg Chico, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other good stuff. Let me know what recruits Colorado or any other school should be looking at, especially in this 2026 class right now. We got some people in the chat. Let us know if y'all want to find Adam and keep up with the blogs and the content and all the good stuff and all the updates. Adam, let them know where to find you at.
BuffStampede.com, or if you're a fan, well, you shouldn't be because you're watching this podcast, but if you are a fan of another school, we're part of the 24/7 Sports Network. You can find your team there. I'm on X at AdamCM777.
That's what it is. Find me at Biggdogg Chico, anything online, BIWGDOWG, and I will get back to you. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the content and all the other good stuff. Adam, continue to do what you're doing. We're going to get back on this. You know, it's like we said, it's year-round Colorado Buff, Coach Prime content. So we could have something to talk about each and every week. So stay tuned for more. And that's where you can find us if you hit the like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right. Until the next time, we'll be back for some more. It's Buff 'em updates. Adam, Munsterteiger, Biggdogg, Chico. We're going to be up and out of this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.